Jacob's trouble is about to bubble up. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachak Badash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And we're seeing a lot go on of what we call Jacob's trouble come through by way of economic hardship, okay, homelessness. All right, I saw the video today. You know, the brother had posted it. You know, there's a woman, 5 or 6 kids, and she's homeless, man. Okay, proud as hell, more proud than that. See, a lot of Jacob's trouble, it's really just going to be people being a casualty of their own stupidity. Okay, when you read Isaiah 33, it says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. All right, why does it say that? Because in 2 Ezra 5, it speaks about chaos and confusion flourishing right at the time of Jacob's trouble, and that coincides around the time where the men of the Lord are no longer on the highways and byways. We're going to be withdrawn because it's going to be that bad out here. All right, but we're already seeing economic hardship, people losing their houses. You know, the Donald Trump administration is lying about jobs reports, telling you you're not in a recession, even though pricing is way out of the range of the average working American. People having to work more jobs, and at the same time still can't find a job. All right, everything is becoming more tense and more tense and more tense. All right, and this is by design. Okay, it's within Esau's power to know how to run an economy to a point where everybody can eat and everybody can even thrive, really, you know. But what is he doing? He's pacifying you while he robs you, just like he did back in the time of Rome. Okay, you had the infamous phrase bread and circus, which came out of Rome, which is what they did. They gave you, you know, some free bread, and they put on gladiator shows and different events to distract the people of the fact that they were so poor. And while these emperors were living these super lavish, you know, lifestyles, okay? And at the end, it was all freakism at the end, okay? The entire upper echelon of them were just straight up degenerate freaks, okay? Look at Pompeii around 79 AD and what they were into, okay? You're seeing the same thing happen all over again. And the Lord is basically getting sick of it. Okay? So the reason I say it's bubbling up, it's because it's not a one-stop event. You're starting to see the ground being set of people not having really any other recourse. Okay? You're gonna see women having to sell themselves a lot more. Okay? You're seeing women either be proud and humble, either being hella proud or very humble at the same time, you know. It's like this passive-aggressive behavior because they don't know what else to do. They don't have a defense mechanism. All right? These people are getting ready to go out really, really bad, and you got to be careful about, you know, who you're being around, man. You know? But like I was saying earlier, know that you're a part of the fight and give diligence, man. Okay? And have that warrior mindset. And if you have that now, people can see it on you and smell it on you, you know. There's a lot of women right now, you know, or even guys back out in the world, you know, they was kind of cool with you, but then they kind of fell off. But they know, they can see that light in you, you know. Those women that were kind of like hanging around you or she curved you, they know in the back of their head you're the kind of man that they should be trying to invest in. But they just decided not to. There's too many goodies out here. There's too many simps. There's too many free goodie bags being given out. But those things are drying up. Okay, Trump has already said there's no more junk food on EBT. Okay, and we know junk food, that ain't nothing but drugs. All right, it ain't food. It's a drug. Okay, that's why it gets approved through the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. All right. And so those kind of things are going to start to dry up, and the people are going to start to become irritable, man. Okay, you know, I myself, I haven't been going out lately, you know, because I'm just being more disciplined, you know, with finances and you know, going out sparingly and whatnot. But you know, most brothers can tell you, especially the Elder Mall lawyer, you know, he'll go out every now and then, and, you know, you'll see women, you know, dealing with him more, you know, because the world is scarce on strong men. All right, that's why it asked the question in Jeremiah 30, talking about Jacob's trouble. It says, "Does a man travail with a child?" Okay, why did it ask that? Because the men are gonna bitch up like a woman in labor pains. Okay, it says that in Jeremiah 51 that they are born to fight, those men, because it is gonna be bloody out here. You're gonna need basically warriors out here. All right, and when everybody forsook us as these low-level, you know, niggas, basically, that's when the Lord is gonna glorify us, man. Okay, we're gonna be glorified on this side to the point to where Esau's gonna want to persecute us. Okay, and the Lord's gonna lift up that standard and have us delivered. Okay, we're gonna be looked out for. We got nothing to worry about. We just got to worry about, are we sincere? Okay, are we putting our best foot forward so we can be delivered? Because the worst thing you want to do is deceive yourself into thinking you're doing the work of the Lord, you know, but really you're just going through the motions, man. No, you got to really be convinced of this thing. You got to know all of this that we see, being able to go to the grocery store and pick up this or order something on delivery. All of this is gonna go, man. It's gonna end. You know? Have you really thought about that? Because if you haven't, you're really no better than these people. Okay? They think there's gonna be some kind of fix. They'll print some more money and solve it, or they'll bring in the military or FEMA or something like that, or something bad happens. But what they're gonna find out is they're doing this intentionally because they're building a new world. Okay, they want a new world where you don't have any freedom. Okay, or you have very limited freedom. Okay, they don't realize that. They think that's just tinfoil hat conspiracy theories, even though all of the evidence is there that says otherwise. They don't think it's coming, man. And so, as Apostle Paul said, I always repeat what the Apostle Paul said. Okay, in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. Okay, but you children are not in the dark. You're the children of light. Okay, the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night to them. See, all of the signs are here. Okay, here you are homeless, and you still don't think the day of the Lord is near. Okay, you know, here it is, 40 grand to have birth in a hospital, to give birth in a hospital, and you still don't think the end is near. STDs are at an all-time high. Okay, World War III tension is brewing. All right, the small hats have been outed. They're openly convicting or letting people go that like to play you know, around playgrounds. You know, if you know what I mean. Those guys that like to be around the playgrounds where the kids are. You know, those guys are being openly convicted and connected to these individuals, man. So they all know that this whole thing is a racket. Everybody, the whole thing that used to be a conspiracy theory, it's all been proven to be right. Everything, the chariots, okay, everything that they said was just BS. It's all being found out to be true. But are these people having the appropriate response to it? No, they're not, man. So that's why I say it's bubbling up, okay? And by the time the fire gets too hot, it's gonna be too late for them to escape, okay? You know, you got a few passport bros that might have got up out of there, but hey, if the Lord wants you, he's still gonna get your ass, you know? Ultimately, man, if you're an Israelite, you have a chance by coming back through the straight gate. That's what we're preaching. If you try to go any other way, you're gonna be destroyed, man, and in a horrific way, because that's how angry the Lord is. He's angry at this place, at America. Think about all of the wickedness that is currently going on. All of these people, these women and kids going missing. All of the demonic activity in the background. All of the chemicals and poison in the air, the atmosphere, the food. All of that evil that builds up and pisses the Lord off. And that's just what's happening today. Okay, the Lord has anger reserved from what He was doing to us hundreds of years ago. So when you try to wrap your head around how angry the Lord is, man, you really, really, really do not want to be caught outside of grace. Okay, I'm telling you that the Lord is getting ready to do horrific things to America. Okay, America's going to be talked about forever in the kingdom, forever. when we leave this place after it's all said and done, this will be something like that's never happened in the earth and will never happen again. And we're living in those times, man. So prepare your minds for Jacob's trouble constantly. Pray, meditate, okay? Fight the good fight. Forfeit your life now, okay? Because it might be required of you, you know? It might be required of you. So go ahead and let these things go, man. That is easier said than done, but hey, the Lord chose select spirits that had it in them to do it, okay? You know, the prophets saw, there are prophets that saw us getting the victory, okay? Didn't Ezra say he commended them, okay? Didn't John the Revelator see us all, in white robes and palms in our hands, all right? So you want to strive to be a part of that number, man, okay? And the Lord will increase our faith, but focus on being sincere. Okay, repent daily, man. Okay, so Salaki should be a part of your vocabulary every day. Okay, the name of the Lord should be in your vocabulary every day. All right, don't be like them guys that know and then as soon as the power goes out, then you want to call on the name. Well, it might be too late for you, man. Okay, the Lord is dealing with men that seek Him early. Okay, so all of these women, get ready, guard yourselves, be careful who you're talking to, who you're giving your energy to. I always say, okay, be circumspect of your surroundings when you go out, even if you're at a grocery store to get a few things. Be circumspect, man. People can tell the difference between us and them. Okay, they can see it, they can feel it. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to say on the matter, because this thing is about to get bad out here. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. Call for Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadah Shalom, Kwam Yasharal.